Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. Well, as I'm perusing the interwebs for news, I run across, basically, it's an interview with Mayor Michael Bloomberg of New York City. Apparently, Piers, whatever the hell his name is, Piers Morgan, he had invited Mayor Bloomberg for a sit-down interview, which Bloomberg was more than happy to do because, you know, he's for the most part an attention whore. Literally, an attention whore. Unfortunately, an attention whore that has a negative effect on all of our rights, whether it's the right to drink pop or whether it's the right to have and bear arms. So Bloomberg is on record now, and listen, I would show you the sit-down interview or a clip of it. Unfortunately, YouTube, aka Google, does not respect the fair use laws in this country. Just the way it is. Well, I shouldn't say they don't respect the fair use laws. They don't apply them evenly, that's for damn sure. For example, if my name was Philip DeFranco, I would be showing you that clip. Unfortunately, my name is not Philip DeFranco, and I don't have 4 producer accounts with YouTube, and I don't make millions of dollars a year. Therefore, I'm apparently not entitled to that protection. So, or that courtesy from YouTube. Hey, courtesy my ass. Listen, it's fair use clause. It's law. It's respected in every court in the nation. And, well, you know what? I don't want to get too far off of the beaten path because you know how I get sidetracked. So Bloomberg sits down with Piers Morgan, Piers Morgan, also known as the guy on primetime on CNN that gets absolute shit ratings. Speaking of Philip DeFranco crushes Piers Morgan in ratings. And Philip DeFranco is, for the most part, a 3-minute version of Jon Stewart on YouTube. Anyway, okay, I digress back to my original point. Okay, so Bloomberg sits down. Bloomberg, who apparently wipes his ass daily with the Constitution and Bill of Rights. I can't, listen, I'm not making this. This is what he does. He's got that roll of toilet paper, you know, with the Constitution printed on it. You know, the kind that you get at, like, DNC conventions and things like that. Yeah, he wipes his ass with that every morning. So he says, I don't understand why the police officers across this country don't stand up collectively and say, we're going on strike. Bloomberg told Piers Morgan, we're not going to protect you unless you, the public, through your legislature, do what's required to keep us safe. So basically what Bloomberg is saying is that he thinks the police officers across this country should tell everybody to get screwed until they pass draconian gun laws and completely set fire to the Constitution and Bill of Rights. That's pretty much in a nutshell. Well, I feel like I am uniquely qualified to speak on this because a shit ton of my family are law enforcement officers. That's right. Lots of cops in my family. And every single one of them, bar none, have told me that they would never, ever confiscate guns. Ever. They would refuse that order. Of course, they're all veterans, by the way. Okay, and every single one of them is pro-Second Amendment, pro the right to bear arms. Every single one of them. So, that's why, Mayor Bloomberg, that's exactly why. Because the police across America, the ones you're so concerned about, are more concerned with the Bill of Rights than they are with their own personal safety. Yeah, imagine that. Some people might confuse them with patriots. I don't confuse them with patriots because I know they are patriots. You know, so Bloomberg, who apparently is, he created some organization, Mayors Against Guns or some shit like that. Let me see if I can find it in this article so I can get it right. I don't know where it's at in this article, but basically, yeah, he's a very big anti-gun person. Listen, let me tell you something. He's a powerful man. Okay, he is. He's a powerful man. It's bizarre to think that a mayor of a city is powerful, but he is. He's a powerful man. Here's a guy who's rounded up a bunch of mayors, and they've created this organization that is akin to handgun control. You guys remember the old handgun control organization? They're still around. You're going to start hearing from them if Obama gets a second term. I can tell you that. Here's the thing. If you remember, Bloomberg has done all kinds of crazy stuff outside of the city. See, I don't know that he thinks he's constrained. Well, I know he doesn't think he's constrained to the city limits. I mean, he really thinks he's like the world mayor. I think mayor to him is just another word for king. You know, he's delusional. He's got way too much money and way too much time on his hands. You know, here's the thing. I will give up my... In fact, this is to you. Mayor Bloomberg, if you ever come across this, or any of your staff comes across this, I hope they have enough decency to pass this on to you. Okay? It's as simple as this for me. I will give up my right to bear arms. I will give up my right to defend myself on the same day that you give up your armed security detail. And I mean the one that you came into the mayorship with and the one you're going to leave with. Okay? Because here's the problem with you retards. Okay? You're just like that. What was it? Rosie O'Donnell spewing her shit only to find out that she had an armed bodyguard? Bloomberg, you don't leave your freaking house without protection. And I don't mean protection for just big guys. I'm talking armed, well-armed security detail. Okay, but that, you know, here's the thing. The majority of us can't afford it. I can't afford to employ 4 or 5 people, well-armed people to protect me. Hell, I can't afford to employ one well-armed guy to protect me. So, Bloomberg, if you want me to be disarmed, then I want you to be disarmed. Okay? Now, I don't mean you physically. I mean your bodyguards. And don't, listen, we all know, listen, you're a very wealthy man, Bloomberg. You are a very wealthy man. We all know that when you're no longer mayor, okay, you are going to be protected. Nonstop. Protected. Well, you know what? Maybe the rest of us can't afford to live like that. Piece of shit. Yeah, that's right. I called you a piece of shit. My bad. I'm not a professional. I just pretend to be one. Well, sometimes it just comes out, you know. I mean, that's just the way I roll. Love me or hate me. It's just the way it is. I think Bloomberg's a piece of shit. You know, it's slanderous. It's scandalous and slanderous. That's me. So he can sue me. What the hell? I don't care. Take what little Obama's left me with, please. That way I could just go ahead and get out of government dole and, you know, kick my feet up and not stress about anything. Okay, so anyway, what's the big deal? You say, what's the big deal? Well, Bloomberg's spouting off at the mouth. What's the big deal? Well, he has far-reaching impact on people. You know, I don't think a lot of people really truly understand when he limited the ability to buy a soda that was over, I think it was 16 ounces. Okay, New York is such a huge market that all companies that do business in New York, and I'm talking Taco Bell, I'm talking Burger King, I'm talking McDonald's, I'm talking all of those. Okay, they all buy they don't manufacture their own drink containers, their own cups. They don't manufacture, they buy those. And they buy them in bulk to get a better price. Because listen, when you're talking about profit margins, you're talking pennies. I'm not kidding you, pennies. Don't get me wrong, pennies add up. Abe Lincoln understood that better than most. But the thing of it is this. You've got bulk buying and you've got warehouse storage issues. So what happens is New York passes an ordinance saying you can't have a pop over 16 ounces. So, you know, okay. So those of you who live outside of New York are like, screw them. You know, screw them. Here's the problem. If you're a buyer for Taco Bell, if you're a Taco Bell Corporation or if you're a Burger King Corporation, you're a McDonald's Corporation or whomever, 7-Eleven, you know, whatever, you have to conform. Because you have to be able to buy, because you're talking about New York, what, 10 million people market here? You have to be able to conform to buy. You're not going to have, okay, this warehouse only has cups that are going to New York. So therefore, what happens is you conform and then your large then, your supersized whatever is 16 ounces. That's it. That's how people like New York or excuse me, Mayor Bloomberg screw all of us with their nonsense. You know? And Bloomberg, he's just, you know, they just found the New York City Police Department was spying in New Jersey, okay? Now, a lot of people in New York was like, well, you know, if they're looking at terrorists, well, isn't that a good thing? If they're, you know, shouldn't they be proactive? Here's a couple problems with that. All right, if the city of New York had information that there was some terrorist activity going on in New Jersey, okay, they needed to contact the FBI and coordinate something with them and with New Jersey law enforcement. If I was Governor Christie, I'd be blowing a gasket on this. What the hell is the mayor of New York City doing, sending New York City police officers into their jurisdiction? I mean, what the hell is that about? You know, it's just not the way it should be. But see, Bloomberg's one of those nut jobs that doesn't care. Remember when he sent those undercover officers to what? It was Arizona, to a gun show, to take undercover video of gun purchases. Remember all that nonsense? You know, Arizona, several states away from New York. And his argument was, well, you know, what happens at a gun show in Arizona affects us. Bloomberg, you're a freaking idiot. You know, but here's the thing. People like Bloomberg, they're dangerous. The only person on the planet that I can really compare Bloomberg to is Putin. Putin. Now, Bloomberg would smile about that because I think he envisions himself of being some kind of czar. You know, the sooner this man's out of office, the better. Of course, I wouldn't be one bit surprised he doesn't end up at the UN. You know, he's got such a ginormous ego. You know, he's got such a so I don't listen. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm doing, and this is what I encourage everybody else to do. All right, boycott anything Bloomberg. Anything Bloomberg, just boycott it. The Bloomberg television. Listen. I know that Bloomberg has very good financial news. I mean, I get it. All right. But you know what? So do a lot of other outlets. So my point is, use the other outlets. If you listen, if you cut his funding off, if you cut him at the knees with the business end of it. See, right now, listen, I guess that'll never happen. He's a multi-billionaire. So to him, he's pretty much bulletproof. That's what listen, right now he's playing God, he's playing king, because he's got it like that. You know, what he needs to do is find himself a hobby that doesn't include denying other people their civil liberties or their rights in general. A hobby that doesn't include wiping his ass with the Constitution. That would be good. Oh, hell, I'm already over 12 minutes. You know, I need a producer. That's what I need. I need somebody to produce me. Anyway, listen, everybody, let me know in the comment section what you think about Mayor Bloomberg. You know, I think he's a piece of trash. I mean, I can't wait for the day where he leaves. Unfortunately, he's a very young man. I mean, well, young is relatively young. He's not that young, but he could be with us for another 20 years. And you know, he's constantly trying to chip away at the Constitution. He's constantly trying to destroy our rights. You know, it doesn't just stop. He is the king of nanny states. Oh, that's a whole other video. I could go on another half an hour on this. The sooner we're done with Bloomberg, the better. You know, it's best to just, you got to push back, though. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this idiot. Let me know if you understood the impact that New York City has on the rest of us across the country, because I really do not think a lot of people get it. I don't think people really understand how things as stupid as denying you the ability to purchase a soda over 16 ounces. I don't think a lot of people really understand how that would affect the rest of us. Most people were just laughing at New Yorkers, going, you know, if they want to live in a big nanny state, you know, more power to them, you know, idiots, you know. Anyway, I got more to say, you know, and I might even do something about Rahm Emanuel in Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. Well, you know, I'll get to that another time. Anyway, everybody take care. See ya!